Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're here, Brenda and I, for
Hi,
episode
everyone.
5. Is it 5? It's 5. Yes.
If it was me saying hello, I was going to say, welcome. I don't know what episode it is, but welcome.
We're off to a great start.
We're
Yeah,
back.
but first off, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's following us and listening and spreading the word because we're getting messages from all over Canada and here in the States that they really like our podcast and to keep doing it. So we're doing it. But thank you so
Hmm.
much for all of your input and please comment. We want to share and we want to ask the questions you have. We'll answer them here. And we just want that interaction with you. So that would be wonderful. All right.
And
So,
also, Trey, I just want to say that I'm very excited that you added us to Spotify and iTunes, so they can find us
yes,
there
thank you
too.
for mentioning that. Yep, I finally figured out how Riverside can just get us right to be on Spotify and iTunes. And I think I have one more outlet. I'm not sure, but yeah, we're on. So if you just want to hear the audio while you're driving to work or wherever you're going, you can look us
I
up on
mean,
Spotify.
you'll miss out on Cindy's adorable faces.
Yes, you won't have the gorgeous visuals, but you would have her lovely voices. So, all right. So let's get started with the question of the day. My question to you is when you know you've done too much, do you have a tell that either you know or someone else can tell that you've done too much?
Okay. Notice Tracy asked because I have to answer
Yes,
first.
you're answering today.
Yeah.
You're up.
So, yeah, I do. I have multiple tells. Um, and that's a funny term for me to use because I do not gamble, and I know isn't that word from gambling, right? If
Mm-hmm.
someone has a tell, right? So I wouldn't be a terrible gambler, but but as far as um energy goes, I have both tells that I am aware of, and one of them I told Tracy before we started. One of them has already shown up. So when I get really tired, I will bite my tongue,
Yep.
which says, "Okay, you know what, lady, time to slow down a little."
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a
And that
crazy week.
hurts. That hurts.
Well, and unfortunately, once you do it once, then it's like
Yeah.
over
You
and
keep
over and
doing
over
it.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
another one that I have, I mean, I have a few, but I will only share that one for me. And when my husband Jay notices that my speech gets quite slurred and hard to understand, it's not because I've had too much to drink. It's because I'm tired.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so those are things. And Trey, you had said, I don't know if it was one of the first couple episodes, how important it is to listen to your body. And that is
Absolutely.
your body giving you messages. I'm like, hey, lady,
Slow down.
go take a nap.
Yeah. Go somewhere. Go rest. So that's your solution is just to go lay down and take a rest?
Well, that's a good question. Sometimes, I mean, I'm getting better at listening to it because sometimes I will push through like I am tougher than this. But you know
Yeah.
what?
Doesn't do.
It's not weak to actually listen to what your body's saying. It's
Right.
actually strong enough to say, okay, you know what? I have given my all. It's time
Mm-hmm.
to listen and take a break. And
Absolutely.
that's kind of what I'm working on. Sometimes better than others,
Yeah.
but not always. And how about
And
you?
for me, I know that I've done too much when I start tripping a lot. Like I have drop foot, but it gets worse when I'm tired. And especially if I'm not using my AFO, the brace to keep my foot from doing this, um, I find that I'm tripping over everything. And then I'm like, I just need to sit down. I need to just, my leg is tired. and it's warning me. I use my right leg for balance, and my right leg, the good leg, does all the work. So that's okay. But when my left one starts dragging and not picking up my foot, I know, yeah, that's my tell. Other people can notice because they see me tripping,
Right, right,
but
right,
I
right.
don't think they know that that's my tell that I've done or I've overdone it. And ways that I avoid it is like going to Costco or BJ's or any of those big warehouse stores. I take advantage of the little motorized cart because I'll tell you what, trying to make it all the way to the back of the store where the freezer section is and the produce is and the things I really want, there's no way I can walk the store without getting exhausted, even holding onto a cart. And it's getting a little better, but especially in those stores, I use the motorized cart. And you know what? At first, I used to be really self-conscious about it, but now, who cares? I see people riding them, and I'm like, if you've got an issue, then go for it. That's what they're there for. I've had a couple of
Absolutely.
times that it's died in the middle of the store on me, and I'm like, it's on 15%, and I'm like, come on, let's get to the front of the store.
Then it becomes like a Flintstone scar, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's like one of those
Yeah,
stuttering, like thump, thump.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but yeah, those are so helpful for me because I need to get things, and I enjoy just looking around the store. But once I'm exhausted, my leg is like, "No, you're done." Like, what do I do? I just bolt out of the store. If the lines aren't long, I pay for what I have, and I get out of there.
Right.
But yeah, those tips that our body tells us, I definitely have learned to listen. So I hope everybody out there does too, because everyone's body is going to tell them.
Well, and what I was gonna say is, I love when we talk about something that for sure it is amplified by those of us who have experienced a stroke or an aneurysm or some other kind of ABI, but it applies to absolutely everybody. And
Yeah.
I know before my stroke, my body was giving me tells, but I was just busy ignoring it. Like,
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. Like, be
So
quiet. I'm busy.
that would be a tip that I would give to everybody listening is regardless if you have experienced something, your body's going to give you tells, pay attention, and listen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good advice for everybody, especially during the holidays. I mean, this time of year, I know you're celebrating Hanukkah. I haven't really had a lot of Christmas celebrations yet, and it's pretty low key for me nowadays. But how are you holding up during all of your preparing
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
visits with friends and family? And
So, it's funny that you should ask that. So I guess this is a two-question day.
yeah, it's a two-question day.
so, so, because I am coming upon my +6, as I call it, in January.
Hmm.
So, one of the things that I'm going to talk about is a couple of quotes that have really kind of angered me. And one of them is actually rest before you're tired.
Yep.
You could also say drink before you're thirsty or whatever it is,
Hmm.
just to kind of like get ahead of it.
Yeah.
So, on that note, to your question, Trey, um, I try to rest both before and after something
Yeah.
because I know I'm going to need to, or not, and I do spurts of things. So, like, I might do 10 or 15 minutes of something and then rest, then 10 or
Yeah.
15 minutes and then rest because
Yeah.
that's kind of what I have.
Yeah. And that's
And,
great
um,
advice.
and I find that when I don't do that, because I think one of the things, if I think of my body as like, the dashboard on a car, like the fuel monitor, it no longer works. So like
Yeah.
I will think that I'm full, and then suddenly I'm out of gas.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not like I've watched it go down. It's like I think I'm okay, and then oh, I have no gas.
Boom. Yeah. It's
So
done. You're done.
So that's where the resting before and after or small spurts is very beneficial to me because it allows me to just kind of like rebuild some of that energy. And then
Yeah.
I use it up quickly, but I'm
Yep.
able to rebuild it, which is helpful. And how
Yeah.
about you?
Um, well, I know it used to be real busy around our house during the holidays with people coming over and making cookies, and things have changed. So it's really low key nowadays with less people. My biggest thing was always in a big group of people. And I get to the point where everything, like, my brain feels like it's buzzing, like, okay, it's too much, my brain's trying to handle too much processing, the noise, and my family's really loud. When they all get together, they're laughing, everyone's talking at once, everyone's yelling across the room. um and I used to feel it, and I used to participate and laugh. I was right there with them, but there was a time that I would just get quiet because I knew that, I needed to just, okay, take a break. So I would go into one of the bedrooms and just shut the door, early, especially early on, but still, every now and then it will happen. And then in a dark room, I just shut the light, shut the door, and I just lay there and just let my decompress, let my brain just relax. And, I don't necessarily have to sleep, but just to like quiet the noise. And I
Absolutely.
guess a good thing would be wear earbuds in situations like that, or these headphones, but I don't always do that. But it's definitely gotten better for me after 20 years, and my plus 21 is the in the end of January. So yeah, I can't believe it's been 21 years, but yeah, I'm using all these strategies all through that time. And I listen to other people's advice. I was listening to someone else on TikTok not too long ago, and he was talking about just that, like listening, and it's okay to take a rest. And I'm like, hey, we talked about that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's definitely what I used to do, and I still do at times. Absolutely. So I'm curious, how in the world do you do it when you want to go, when you breed, is it challah, the
Challah,
bread?
yeah.
And you do that
So
every week, don't you?
I do that so what I do is I make my dough on Thursday because I can't do it all at once.
Right.
I'm very good at like, okay, here's a whole task, whatever it is. I'm gonna break it down into like multiple smaller things, and then I'm able to do that.
Okay.
And so I will braid on Thursday, and then thankfully it can be in the refrigerator overnight, and then
Good.
on Friday is when I'll braid. But even that, I will cut it up and weigh it and ready to go, and then I'll rest, and then I'll come back. So it's
Good.
like it's
You
a
break it up.
whole yeah. I have to,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
also Trey, there was something you were saying about about all the noise when you're around a lot of people. So I found, and I don't know if this is common or not, but even at first when I would be in the car as a passenger and Jay was driving, just the stimulus of everything coming at me was too much. I had to
Oh
close
my
my eye. I
gosh.
had to close my eyes
Uh-huh.
just to. I mean, and so the first time I could ride in the car and my eyes were open, I could look at everything. I was like, "This is incredible," and I guess that's something that we want to continue to remind people of is it's all. I mean, there's clearly. I don't want to give false hope to myself or anyone else. Of like it's
Right.
going to be back 100%, but
Right.
there is progress. But
Yeah.
you do have to be patient, and you do have to believe that progress is possible. And even if little things like that, like 10 years ago, if you said to me, "You're going to be thrilled to be able to sit in a car and watch everything go by," I'd be like,
Right.
"What are you talking about?" But now I
Now you
understand.
know.
It's thrilling
Yeah.
just to be able to look around and have my eyes open and take it all in and not be completely exhausted. Now, don't get me
Right.
wrong, it will
Right.
tire me out even just to ride in the car, but it's not like it was before. So
Okay.
there's been some progress. So I am thrilled to think about being plus 20 like you, like how much better it could be.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I have a funny story with that. So when I finally left rehab, my sister, of course, and a couple other family members came to pick me up to bring me home. I got in the car and I'm sitting in the front seat. I'm all buckled up. And she starts to go, and it felt like she was going 90 miles an hour. I was like, Renee, slow down. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh my God, watch out. And she's like, I'm holding on like my mother used to hold on when she teach me to drive. And I'm
Right.
like, oh my gosh, you're going so fast. She goes, I'm not. I'm doing the speed limit. Like she's doing 30 miles an hour. I felt like it was coming at me. And I guess
Right.
that's just all interpretation from your brain.
Right. Right.
That was what, a month after rupture when I came home. I guess I was there between that and rehab about a month. But yeah, that took a while to get used to. So I would only go out once a week. And I didn't do that for like the first 2, 3 months. And then I would go out and be the passenger, but I couldn't go far at first. Like, and then we'd go to a store and I'd be completely exhausted. And as soon as we got home, boom, it could be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was in my room and I slept till dinner because in the beginning, it's just that overwhelming input of, I remember, and this is what I do remember clearly, is I remember looking for a certain deodorant. I think we were at Walmart and just scanning all of the different choices and all of the shelves. And then you got the fluorescent lights coming at you and people going past you. And I remember just standing there, and my sister was in another aisle, so it wasn't like I could say, where's the secret? That's what I
Right.
hear.
Right.
So
Right.
I
Right.
remember just feeling so dumbfounded, like staring into space, like nothing made sense. And I think, I have come so far with that. But yeah, that was really big, and it was really a hurdle. Um, so I would only go to one store, and I would only have a list of like 5 or 6 things that I was really looking for. My sister would do the rest for me because just the scanning, the processing of
Right.
your
Right. Right.
eyes
Right.
making sense and finding what you
Right.
want and need.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, there's so many changes, but yeah, it does get better for those of you who are just going through it. Um, you have to, and I told the doctor this and early on, and I said, oh my gosh, I go into a store and I can't figure out where the things are that I need. And does that get better? Like, what do I do? And he goes, keep doing it. Keep doing it.
That's
Your
right.
brain
That's right.
will just make those connections again and it'll get better. And he was right. Just like when I said I couldn't go out to restaurants because of all the background noise. And I'm trying to listen to the people I'm having dinner with, and I can't focus because all I hear is everyone around me and the noises. And he's like, keep
Right.
going, just keep going. It'll get
Right.
better. And I push through, and yeah, now I can deal with it. But sometimes it's still really loud, but I just
Right.
get quiet in those
But
occasions.
I think that there are, in certain situations, and this is different for everyone, there are modifications that you can make. So for me, I still struggle if there's two things at once. So if I'm like listening to the radio or the TV and someone comes in the room to ask me something, I have to pause it because I
Yeah,
can't have too much going on at once.
yep.
But when you talk about the scanning, so it was I guess it was maybe 2 years ago. I'm gonna say go Habs go, the Canadians. So Jay took me to a hockey game. He was so excited that he got these incredible seats.
Oh,
So
God.
two problems. One is I had to get down the stairs to
Oh,
get to it. So I did that with his help and with the railing and with my sticks and whatever. And then I thought, okay, I hope I never have to pee because I'm not getting out. I'll pee my pants. I'm not leaving. But but the bigger problem was these seats. They were right behind the I believe it was right behind the the Habs bench. So
oh,
they were
God.
for anyone else. It was a great seat. But for
Yeah.
me, because it was center ice, I had to watch. I had to constantly be moving my head
Yes,
back
like
and forth
this.
to watch it. And I said to him afterwards, like, "These are great seats for anyone else, but for me, maybe a little bit further
A
away,
little
so I
further
could
up.
I can sit. And I could just move my eyes."
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
these
definitely
are
can relate.
things. These are things that you wouldn't think would be as um exhausting or um troublesome as they are,
Yeah,
but
for
they
someone
are.
who's going through it, yeah. I mean,
But
that's a big
you
thing, like, people don't understand.
and you can modify, or hopefully you modify it and it gets better, like you said.
Yeah, yeah, you always have to modify. Um,
Right.
I remember going to a theater with my sister, and when I have her on, I'm gonna have her tell the whole story about going up the steps in this old theater in New York City. Um, so I'll have her tell the story when she comes on. But yeah, same exact thing with going up and down the stairs, and I didn't move once I was sitting down. But yeah, it's definitely an issue, and it does get better as far as the scanning. And now I just kind of like now with using the ride on cart thing, I'm not having to concentrate on the walking and balance and
Right, right,
looking for something I need.
right, right.
So when you combine those two things when you're out in public, it's doubly exhausting. And people don't think
Absolutely.
about it like you're just walking down an aisle, but they don't understand that you're looking for something particular. So your mind is working on that. There's
Right.
several
And you're
processes
trying to
going on.
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you try not to trip and you try not to bang into people and you're trying to just stay upright and like it's unreal how much the brain does. And when it's damaged, it has to reroute and it has to figure all that out. And sometimes it happens and quickly, and sometimes it takes a long time, and sometimes it doesn't make that connection again. But you can always try. That's what I do. And like you said, I just make some adaptations and figure it out. But life goes on, like we say, and you got to go out. I don't have a personal shopper. um
Right.
so
Well,
yeah.
that's what we need.
Yeah, so I would that's great advice I would give, that, just listen to your body, and if you're out in public, use the resources that are out there. If they're providing you a motorized cart and you're feeling your legs are tired or your balance feels off, just get on the thing. That's what it's there for. And don't feel bad about it. So that's my advice. But you know what? We're going to keep this episode on the shorter side because we're already at 20 something minutes. I can't believe how fast it goes with us. But yeah, our other two episodes have been fairly long, so we're going to keep this one on the shorter side. And we are going to end it here with the tip of the day. Now, I know we've given a bunch of tips, but do you have one tip of the day for us to end us?
Yes, my tip would be, if possible, to utilize audiobooks. So I know
Yes.
we both, for in very different ways, have issues with our vision. For
Mm-hmm.
you, it's about your peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I struggled a lot with pretty significant double vision at one point.
Yeah.
And now it's just my vision is just not what it was. I mean, that part of my brain was definitely impacted. Um,
Yeah.
but and I can read. I can. I love to read, but it's exhausting to be
Yeah.
able to physically read the book, but also that your brain is processing what's going on. I find that using audiobooks allows me to enjoy the story, to have it read to me.
Yeah.
And I'm able to do it while being out in the hallway of my building and doing some laps. So I'm able to do two things at once, which is great.
Yeah. No, that's
That's my
great.
tip.
That's a great tip. I need to use that tip because I literally stopped reading because for me it was I could read one line, but when you go to the next line, I wouldn't know where that line
You
was.
lose track,
And it was
yeah.
like just one line and then find the next line and go. And
Right,
it
right.
was just, one chapter would take me 3 days and I just got frustrated and I don't really read anymore. But yeah, that's great advice. That's a great tip and I should use it more. I do have an Audible account and I don't use it as much. But do they have audiobooks on Spotify?
Oh, good question. You know what? I do not know. Probably, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're on Spotify now, so you could listen to an audiobook, hopefully there, and then pop right over to our channel to hear our latest podcast. And I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. I think we're gonna have one more podcast episode before Christmas, but we're in the midst of Hanukkah, and I just want to say happy Hanukkah to everybody. And, as a people of, the Jewish faith, what's going on around the world is just horrific and sad. My heart goes out to everybody. And
Thank you for saying that, Tracy.
this whole business of what's going on just needs to stop. I pray every day that it stops. And we could be in a better world. So with that, Bren,
I can't top that. That's perfect what you just said. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you so much.
I do want to say that we're excited that our next episode, we're hoping, Jay, hope you're listening. Hopefully, Jay, we're going to get you on as a guest.
Yes, he'll be our very first guest.
No, we've said it a lot, so now he has to, right?
Yeah, we haven't asked him yet, but yeah, hopefully he'll say yes. But yes, I've gotten some requests from people on TikTok and other places that they would like to be a guest. Even a couple of my doctors. So yeah, we have a lot of people planned. So I think in January, after I get my knee surgery done and do 1 week or so of that, of recovering from that, we'll start with some guests. But Jay will be on hopefully next week.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
you got
any other I don't think I would have to beg him. I think he'll be a happy yes.
Good.
But any questions that other people have, either about us or about ABI in general, like Trey said, we're not medical experts, but we'll give you our perspective and our opinion, and we'll give you love and support and companionship connection.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have questions for Jay as Brenda's caregiver, we'd like you to ask your questions and make comments about what he went through and what he still goes through. And I eventually will hopefully have my sister on. She was my caregiver, and they go through so much. So it will be great to hear his point of view on things. And please put some questions for us under this podcast for next week when Jay is on, and hopefully we'll get them all answered. So with that, I think we're going to say goodbye, and we still haven't come up with a jingle.
You can add that too.
Yeah, please give us suggestions. Like we need some kind of bye, see you next time. Yeah, we need some technical gurus to do that for us. But all right, Bren, well, I will talk to you soon and send my love to Jay and the kids, and we'll meet up soon. Bye, everyone.
So today marks the first year since having my stroke, and I'm going to post something that I actually wrote about 6 months ago. At the time, I was still suffering from partial insomnia and night terrors, and I woke up at about 2 a.m. My mind had brought me back to that first night after the stroke, when I knew what had happened to me, but I didn't know what recovery was going to look like at all, and I couldn't really get anyone to explain it to me. So I thought to myself, what would I say to myself then with what I know now? And I sat down and I wrote a letter. This is actually part of a larger series that we're going to be doing at Brainstorm, but I thought it was important to sort of post it today in its raw form as I wrote it 6 months ago. If you're in a similar situation as myself, I strongly suggest that you do the same thing. It's not only therapeutic, if you post it, it could help somebody.
Congratulations. If you're reading this, there's a good chance you've beaten some pretty horrific odds. You probably have very little desire to celebrate, and for good reason. This sucks ass. Despite the well-intentioned battle cries of loved ones, insisting you've got this, the next few months will very likely be the worst of your life. But I'm here to tell you, it is possible to get to the other side of this. Very likely, even. These first days will be hell, consistent with a persistent fear of everything. Despair is going to try to consume you. It'll be the fight of your life, but you have to fight back. Dignity will have to be thrown out the window. Depending on the severity of the deficits the stroke have left you with, your medical team will be taking over some very personal things. You may have to rely on them to clean you, feed you, and maybe even wipe your ass. One of the more important things you'll need to do right now is get over yourself. Rehab in general will demand this, both short-term and long-term. The instruction book on how to move forward after a stroke unfortunately didn't automatically download when you had one. Neither did the So Now You're Disabled guidebook. So this education will be hard-won. You're about to discover that you can be surrounded by people, even people who love you, and still feel completely alone. This goes back to your battle with despair. You can't let it hold you back. You'll have to learn to live with it. I'm not going to lie to you, you may still feel this way for months, even years into your recovery, long after you've been sent home. But there will be help, and you'll value it more than you can express. Peer support, other survivors, connecting to people who share your experience will help make this feel less lonely. They will also be your instruction manuals, so seek them out. So now days or even weeks have gone by and it looks like you're not going to die. Not in the foreseeable future, anyway. The doctors have stabilized your vitals, and rehab's about to start its engines. This is your new job. It's a full-time job, and you'll have to give your whole self over to it. It's going to be relentless, but it will also be rewarding. Just know, like you, your rehab team did not receive a manual specific to your needs. They will have to feel things out. No two strokes are exactly the same, and a huge part of their skill is adapting on a case-by-case basis. Let them. Be patient with them. Listen to them, do what they say, but also go beyond. They'll give you the blueprint, but you're the one that has to build. Very likely your team won't have more than an hour a day with you. The rest of the day is all yours. The key now is strength. You have to rebuild strength back, both in the side affected by the stroke and the one that still works. Surprisingly, there's a lot you can do from your bed, and that's where you're going to start. Look up tutorials on YouTube and throw yourself into it. You now have all the time in the world. After strength, repetition is your next tool. You're going to hear the word neuroplasticity a lot. Repetitive motion is what teaches the brain to rewire. It may feel like you're putting in the hours and the days and nothing is happening, but it is. One day a part of your body that hasn't moved in weeks will twitch, shift, or even bend, and that will be the first domino. The smallest progress will feel like the biggest win, and every inch of it will be earned. Early on, you probably had a doctor give you a grim diagnosis. Something like, you're never going to walk again. Ignore that. They think they're being realistic, but the truth is they just don't know. Your progress will depend on what you put into it. That's not to say everything will magically fix itself, but no one knows enough about you to make such a definitive claim, so screw them. People will be both a blessing and a challenge. You're going to hear unsolicited comments about your condition. People with no experience suddenly becoming experts. Some will share stories of others who didn't make it in a misguided attempt to remind you that you're lucky to be alive. But those comments come from a place of privilege, or maybe even ignorance. Lucky isn't being unable to dress yourself. It isn't peeing into a bag, and it sure as hell isn't losing use or feeling of part of your body. There will be people who love you. They will reach out. Let them. Remember, they're scared too. Others, whom you expected to show up, may disappoint you. And then there'll be those who surprise you. You're now part of a community. Unfortunately, the membership requirements were brutal. But you're not alone. There are people who care deeply about you, even if you've never met them. We are bonded by trauma. No two experiences are exactly the same, but we have a pretty good idea of what each other's going through. We feel for one another. As I said earlier, seek us out, share your story, listen to ours. It'll help you heal. Now you might be thinking that's great and all, but what about the fact that I remember who I am and my wife, but I have no idea what this cell phone thing is. I have absolutely no recollection of what they are. What is that about? Unfortunately, the side effects of stroke are so incredibly diverse that I can't possibly list them in one letter. Ideally, this would be a living document, updated by other survivors like a choose-your-own-adventure guide. Feeling like a loved one's been replaced by an identical imposter? Or you're in a place that looks familiar but feels fake. Flip to pages 123 and 187 to read about Capgras delusion and reduplicative paramnesia. There's a large community of stroke survivors online, and there's a good chance you'll find someone who's gone through something similar. Above all, know this, your story isn't over. You've already done something extraordinary by surviving. Now comes the slow, frustrating, painful work of reclaiming your life. Early in my recovery, I was informed that many survivors regard their stroke date as their new birthday. There's a new you, and you are yours to make how you wish. It won't be easy, and it won't be fair, but you're not alone. We're out here, fighting our own fight, cheering you on, and walking beside you, even if you can't see us. So keep going. Rest when you need to, pray if it suits you, cry when you have to, scream whenever possible, but don't stop. You're still here. And that matters. You matter.